It's
they're a waste.
Waiting for PHPUgly. I thought you said it was live. Space City book. Boom.
First time in a very long time, I have the AC off and the windows open. Finally cooling down a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit cooler here.
I know I haven't started Zencastr yet. I'm gonna do it after the intro song.
Alrighty, intro song in 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out.
Too bad that wasn't on the air. That would have been hilarious.
250 of PHPUgly, where I have to edit my podcast every week because John likes talking over me. I don't mind it at all. I love the guy. With me this week is my good friend, John Congdon.
This week? Wow, you're already settling into that the round table, aren't you?
Tom Rideout.
You're getting too comfortable
You
with
guys are
rotating
horrible
hosts.
with this. You're horrible with this. I'm excited about PHP Roundtable. I've got to get my second roundtable going. I've been really super busy this month, and it wasn't really a good month for me to even do it. And I'm trying not to push myself. I'm under a lot of stress. I have a 10-foot long shipping container sitting in my driveway now to start loading up my house because we want to put our house in the market and we want to get all of our crap out of here. And I am stressed beyond anything. So I'm trying
he is so stressed that he spent the past 5 days in a winery.
deep in a winery. And I'm trying not to let PHP Roundtable add to that stress. I told myself I wasn't going to let that happen, but I do want to get my next roundtable going. So it's probably going to happen here in the next couple of weeks. But yes, I have returned from my oasis of a winery. I have a friend who, for the longest time, had been telling me that she has a small vineyard and she makes her own wine. And I always thought like it was. I always thought it was like, you know, people who brew their own beer. You know, it's like, okay, you have some You have some grapes and you make wine. That's cool.
You make a few bottles a year or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I get out there, it's 80 acres, and she has this whole wine dispensary. She has like barrels and barrels of wine. It's like a whole business. It was the craziest thing. I drank.
It's like a business, but not really a business.
I drank heavily. We started off every morning with mimosas, and then that just bled into wine drinking, and then you just rinse and repeat the next day. It was a lot of drinking. It was good though.
I did notice you're drinking water right now, which is always a bad sign.
Yeah, I'm trying to detox a little bit. And to be completely honest, I was going to drink wine, but she's gotten me on this snob kick with my wine, and I didn't open the bottle soon enough. So I realized that I wouldn't have the wine in time to drink for the show. So I just opted not to open the bottle.
Wow. She has ruined drinking.
Yeah.
I took that wine you gave me straight from the bottle into the glass into my mouth. It was delicious.
Not a problem, huh?
No decanting, no 20 minutes letting it breathe. It was good.
Well, think about how good it would have been had you done that. It would have been so much better.
Who has 20 minutes to wait?
The other thing about this is I had zero internet. It's like it wasn't even bad internet. I had zero internet. So I was forced to drink. It was the only way for me to get through the day. I had no other options.
Well, I'm happy you got your internet back. That would have sucked.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I'm back. Getting back online. First time in a while, and I'm serious. I had no internet. It was like the most I've been offline in a long time, and I actually had to do things to catch back up for the day. Typically, I try to stay on top of everything while I'm out. And like I said, we're starting the process of selling our house. So there was the realtor had been trying to get in touch with us for the last 4 or 5 days, and a lot of stuff.
I'm just catching up. You had no internet while you were at the winery. I thought you meant today. Like I thought you were drinking all day today.
No. While I was at the winery.
No, so that show looks a little different.
Catching up. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. What's going on? How's everybody's week?
I'll let Tom go first.
Yeah, I'm prepping for my presentation for the FinTech DevCon conference in a month.
When you say it like that, it sounds like it's a made-up conference.
Well, it is their first year, so.
Oh, okay.
It kind of is made up in the sense that it hasn't happened yet.
So they're not well established like Wave PHP is.
No. Wave PHP does technically have a 5-year history of only actually happening one in the last 5 years.
Yeah, we're the once in a decade conference. I think that's our new tagline.
Yeah. And besides that, just keeping busy, the usual thing. Stressing out about how much houses cost and cars cost and teenagers cost, and it is terrible. But it keeps me busy, I guess.
How are you, John?
Well, I tweeted out a teaser that if you wanted to learn how to make a couple $100 easy, you should listen to tonight's show.
Oh, I'm excited to learn about this.
I wasn't kidding. If you want to make a couple $100, $200 to $300 pretty easily, you can. You just have to find your way to the San Diego dump and find my fucking wallet.
Oh, wait, what?
I am 99% sure I threw my wallet away last week on the beach.
God, it must be nice to be that rich. Y'all just like, fuck it, I don't need this wallet anymore.
Yeah.
Throw this away.
This one does not bring joy.
If it doesn't bring you joy, throw it away, right? We were at the beach. I went and I got dinner, and on my way back, I'm carrying like 2 pizza boxes and my dinner and margaritas from my wife and I. So I'm in a bathing suit, so I don't have pockets. I throw my wallet and my phone into one of the bags, and I could have sworn I pulled them both out, knowing that was a possibility. But I have not found my wallet in like a week now.
No.
That sucks. That's horrible.
How big of a baller are you where you're walking around with a couple $100 in your wallet? I get like $6 on my wallet if I'm lucky. Jeez,
my wallet physically rejects cash like opposite ends of a magnet.
In this day and age, he's got $200 cash on him. Come on.
Now you're making me feel bad. I like to play poker. What can I say? And you can't
if it
play
makes
poker
you
with
feel
credit.
any better, I know a guy who left his laptop at a bar at an airport. So I've seen worse.
That might be 4 episodes in a row that's been brought up. That might be a record.
Going for a record.
And also for the record, I know of this guy who lost like 2 or 3 sets of Bose headphones as well. I don't know who that could have possibly been, but there's a few of those floating around in airports all over the country.
They're noise canceling. They're very hard to find.
Oh yeah.
So Eric, I have a question for you.
Follower. What's that?
Wait, I don't know where you saw that at. Anyway, have you seen Veritasium lately? We talked about it last week. What made me think to ask was I looked at our YouTube channel and I see you put work into all the thumbnails and the titles, and Veritasium just did a whole episode on thumbnails and titles on YouTube videos.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one. No, that's weird.
So,
that's they go scientific on it or what?
Yeah. Yep. To a point. It was more about just the YouTube algorithm and how YouTube started and what's driving, and it was clickbait versus different types of clickbait is what he called it, and then he came up with different words for it, and how you can now go in and change thumbnails and change titles, and like once you get a big audience. So if you haven't already, please subscribe on YouTube. That'd help us a lot because we want the big audience so we can do the scientific research.
Yeah, do it for science. We'll do it for science.
There you go. It was just about how changing the thumbnail could have this drastic change on your numbers, and it was an interesting.
That's funny. It's funny because I think the last title was the most clickbaitist title we've ever used. The PHP on Mars. I actually just created the thumbnail today and put it out there. That's too funny.
Well,
there
the whole thing was that
comments too.
Yeah, so the whole title thing. Where does it lie in that clickbait range? Like, are you giving real data or real information, or are you getting them just to click on a fluff piece, right? So it's that weird. There's a real gray area in there. But anyway, it was very interesting.
That's me. I gotta subscribe there too. Yeah. Oh, actually, my thumbnail isn't even showing up on the. I just hit the site. It's not showing up.
I see it.
I thought I saw it.
Fancy
do you see it?
Unless you did something different. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I went on another account that I had to look at it and it didn't show up. So whatever. That's cool. I like doing them. They're fun. I don't know. But yeah, we need to get some more view. We have comments last week, I guess. Hey guys, slightly mean-spirited, I think. Not a good optic having you guys sat in your room taking the mic out of someone else's hard work. Not everyone has the same opinion as yours. Put your money, I don't know, put your money where your mouth is and give David Connolly permission to use your video. What? What is that?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I assume it's talking about that that super crazy framework that we were talking about.
David Conley commented too. Thank you for mentioning Trongate and for keeping things graceful. Overall, I think you successfully understood what Trongate stands for. That's good. For the record, I love PHP as a language. That's got a lot of likes to it too. He had a huge comment on here. What was that?
Yeah.
What was trying? That was that new the new framework. I remember.
Yeah.
That was trying not to use Composer and
yeah.
Or PSRs, or only have one version, or like 1.0 forever was one of the rules.
Yeah.
Where are you seeing the? I'm not seeing the comments.
It's 2 episodes back.
Oh,
It's
2
on
episodes. That's why.
40.
Everyone that's listening to us now is like, why are they talking about 2 episodes ago and reading off comments?
Nobody ever comments on our videos, man. It was weird. I don't even go to check it, and yeah, there was somebody there commenting. I didn't know what to say. Now I have a question for. Oh wait, he has a question for us though. Should we continue to do this live?
Oh yeah, if he's got a question for us, sure.
Yeah. So now I have a question for you. Can I please use footage from your video on this page for when I launch the framework? Oh yeah, sure. You can use. It's on YouTube. I think we have created comments on there. You're more than welcome to use it. It'll give me an opportunity to respond to your perfectly legitimate points in a way that will hopefully be useful. Permission is hereby requested. Yeah, I guess I
does
need
sound
to
ominous.
reply. I want to say, yeah, sure. Sorry for the late reply. I've been drunk a lot lately.
So
Doing this live.
we're commenting live on a past episode because we have new content.
Yeah. And also, in case it wasn't clear, it was mean-spirited. That's why the other 2 people kept telling me to stop, because it was getting a little mean-spirited.
Oh man! All right, there you go, David Connolly.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to use our video.
As long as you include this video where Tom is apologizing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Don't think I apologized.
You did. You kind of meant that.
I'm sure that's what you meant. In a weird way.
Man. So John helped me today and he helped me because I was helping out a listener in Discord, Mike, in our Discord. Mike actually gave me permission to use his name. MikePageDev is his handle in our Discord. He's been trying to get he's been using Devilbox, been trying to get Xdebug working with VS Code and Devilbox. And I told him, like, yeah, I know it works. I use it all the time. And then, of course, I go to use it in PHP Storm because I don't use VS Code on the regular, and it's not working, and I can't get it to work. So I have to reach out. To John today. I'm like, hey, man, I know we did this once before, but like, Devilbox, Xdebug, PHP Storm not working. It took us a little while to figure it out. We got it working.
It did, and it was frustrating, and I got to a point like, didn't we just do this? Why do I gotta do it again?
Because I changed versions of PHP, and I think that helped actually. Because I went back to the old version, and I'm using Xdebug 3, so that there are certain settings that changed. So we get it working in PHP Storm. I'm like, all right. Well, let me see if I can get it working in VS Code. And John hung around. And VS Code was like harder than PHP Storm to get working. I don't understand.
What?
The way we got it working was complete luck.
PHP Storm was easy. It was getting Devilbox configured correctly, getting all the right Xdebug settings.
Yeah.
Because within Docker, you need to... On Mac, it's nice because there's a DNS point back to your host, where on Linux there isn't. You need to know your IP address. And so there's that and a couple other settings. And then PHP Storm has a nice mapping section to map the remote to your local directory structure. So when PHP says, hey, we are debugging /shared/ whatever index.php, it needs to map to your local file system. In VS Code, there is no nice UI settings thing. It's all JSON based. And it wasn't there by default. We had to go search the internet to find it.
And what you have to add actually doesn't, like, it's not intuitive. Like we had actually had it configured, but I had hard coded my paths. So like in PHP Storm, you code in the path on the Docker container where the files are, and then you code in the path on your local system where the files are. And for whatever reason, that didn't work. But we were Googling around, and I found where somebody had used a shortcut, basically saying,
Or
"Hey,
variable.
this project, variable," which was basically saying, "Hey, this project right here," and we swapped that out, and it started working. It was weird because I knew something was right, because when we ran it, the debug breakpoints would trigger, but they wouldn't show anything. They would just say, what was it?
In something like invalid breakpoint or something
unable
like
to
that.
confirm breakpoint or something like that.
Huh.
So we knew that it was seeing the breakpoint, but for whatever reason, it wasn't catching it. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. It just ran through the code. So once we did that, everything worked smooth. Very
Unverified breakpoint is what it was.
Unverified breakpoint, yeah. So yeah, got that working in VS Code, and happy. I'm learning things.
Well, I'll be
I
having
need to get
that.
I need to get my Envim set up.
I'll be having that same experience pretty soon because I'm getting Xdebug installed on my Docker images. I would do it myself, but it has to go through DevOps, so they're working on other stuff.
You realize the containers are local. You can jump in there and install whatever the hell you want.
I was about to say that. Yeah,
that's against the rules.
Just don't add it to your repo. Yeah.
Nah, gotta follow the rules.
You and the rules.
Well, it's the finance tech stuff. They take
I'm sorry,
compliance very seriously.
I want to backtrack a little bit. The Veritas, what's it called?
Veritasium.
Veritasium. With the thumbnails, did they happen just by chance? Did they happen to touch on the science by adding like arrows and circles? Like I always see videos where there's always like an arrow pointing to something, or there's a circle there, but it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like it seems to be like a random arrow or a random circle.
Nah, I don't think so. I think anything is just to be visually catching and make you want to click on it.
Yeah. Also, the thumbnails are.
End of the day, that's what it is. You gotta be.
The thumbnails are evaluated by an AI bot that does facial recognition and like selling points that it has recognized. So it actually does register in their system as meaning something.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Mess around with our thumbnails. Throw some arrows in there and see what happens.
Just put a bunch of arrows.
We might get an extra 5 subscribers by next week.
That would be, and if we could manage to get 5 more subscribers than normal, the percentage that would represent would be an incredible bone. Like we could sell that technique. If you got 5% end over end.
Well, I think that's nice of you to think that 5 new subscribers would be 5% to us. That would actually, that's assuming we have 100 subscribers now.
I thought we did.
We got a few. We do. I remember when we did it though. It was way more fun when we did it.
You know who's got lots of subscribers?
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger transforms you into a DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and cron monitoring into a single easy-to-use platform. Stop wasting your time tailing logs and deploy with Swagger. Visit honeybadger.io today to level up.
Thank you, Honey
Why does this
Badger.
take you so long? Thank you, Honey Badger.
Honey Badger.
Honey Badger. Was
How
that what you were
far
going with that
lagged
time?
behind you
Because
guys
I was
am
just
I?
I just
That's
yell out
not
Honey
where-
Badger now.
Just
That-
randomly all the time.
Yeah, you're pretty. Well, you've been
I
like
just-
freezing up. You've been phasing. It's like weird.
Huh.
Yeah, I scream out
You-
Honey Badger all the time now because I enjoy them.
Y-
For the record, we have
It's-
400 subscribers on YouTube.
No.
Nice.
John,
See,
I know you're
way
trying
more
to-
than
I know
5%.
you're trying to get a sentence out.
That's all right. I don't want to. I just want to talk about how crappy today was because today, Phone Burner does releases on Wednesday night, and I'm on call Thursday morning. Plus, they released a big feature of mine last night. That, of course, nothing ever works right, especially if it's my code. I think it was 7 hotfix PRs had to go live today, just fighting different fires, and it was
Wow.
so frustrating. Anywhere from just bad logic or assuming an update to the database was being made and it wasn't. It was just a very stressful day, especially when you have people in customer service like, I now have at least 2 reports of this and this isn't working. And it's like, I just wanted to scream and like, can we just revert and be done with this? Because I'm going to freak out here.
I had a very similar thing happen to me this week. Actually, I felt super bad because I come back. I came back on Wednesday. So yesterday, right? Today's Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my first day back
Yeah.
was yesterday, and I'm addressing a bunch of little issues here and there. And the one client, one of the clients where I work on it, he calls me up. Why am I feeling water drip on me? Hold up. This could be bad. I'm trying to sell this house and I'm feeling water drip on me. Hold on.
Well, don't advertise that fact.
Is it raining outside, John?
I don't
Is
know.
it raining?
I don't know.
It's raining inside.
I'm in a
Weird.
closet.
Maybe I'm spitting a lot when I talk. I don't know. COVID is attacking me. But yeah, this client calls and says, "Hey, we're trying to use this CMS you built. I made it. I did it myself." And they're like, yeah, it's broken. All we're getting are 500s. I'm like, I mean, I'm not the best developer, but I'm pretty sure it was working when I committed the code. So we're looking at it, and there was a couple things going on. One was Nova wasn't displaying the images, which I'd had this problem in the past where when you're using AWS, you have to make sure you assign the temporary URL to display the image and this and that. So when he said that, I'm like, okay, I kind of know what's going on there, but I also know that Nova is uploading the image. So the image is actually there and it should display on the front end. So the back end, the Nova interface won't display it, but it should be displaying on the front end because I coded that front end. And they're like, no, all we're getting is 500 errors. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm checking it out. I'm like, it's a red herring. They kept going back to Nova. I'm like, don't worry about the Nova stuff. That's a red herring. It's a false flag. There's another problem somewhere else. And I'm like, hey, why does this keep redirecting to tracking? Like, why does it keep redirecting to this URL? They're like, don't worry about that. That's something we're doing. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to worry about it because it's like code I didn't do. And then now you're telling me it doesn't work. And then like a couple of seconds later, the guy types, let me check something out. Okay, I got it fixed. Like, don't worry about it. Just get the images displaying. I'm like, all right. Code wasn't as bad as I thought. I still don't know what was wrong with it. They were doing some sort of redirect. like I guess they were trying to track the people using the new CMS or something. They were doing some redirect, but yeah, and I honestly don't know why that was something to 500. It didn't look like it was that complicated, but yeah.
They were redirecting to the wrong URL. They fixed the URL they were redirecting to, fixed it, and then it came back to where it was supposed to be.
That could very well be possible.
Cat sleeping on the
Tom,
it's
you
my
are
story, and I'm
frozen
sticking to
again.
it.
Are you serious? We have the Cat 5 issue again.
No.
Tom, your internet is horrible.
I don't know how that's possible. I'm not doing anything.
You just broke in and just said cat sleeping on the router.
Okay. Whoop, and he's gone.
Hey,
We may not be streaming anymore. He's back.
How's that?
That's
that's
fine.
fine.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, if sharing my screen is what's causing all of this chaos.
I thought you were supposed to work on that, man. I thought you were going to start using two
I know.
systems.
I'm supposed to.
Come on, man.
I have a list of things I'm supposed to do. I guess that's what lists are.
Kind of the point.
Yeah.
Little reminders of things you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, yeah.
So,
all right, I'm hogging the show, Tom.
well, no,
I
you've
actually
been
think
you've
I have
been
been this time.
you've been AWOL, Eric. You've been without internet, so I'm not sure if you've read the latest PHP annotated from JetBrains. Did you get a chance to peruse it?
Oh, I did. Dmitri, I think it is, tweeted about PHP Roundtable. Is that where you're going?
Yes. A specifically cheered
Yeah.
out you on their newsletter and said congratulations to Eric for taking over PHP Roundtable. I thought that was very nice. I noticed that
I know.
That's nice.
I noticed that PHPUgly actually no longer getting mentioned in the PHP annotated.
I was going to say that.
That
I was going to bring that
their
up.
transition to leaving PHPUgly and just going completely over to Roundtable is going smoothly. We'll miss you.
It says, and let's be clear about the little blurb, because it's an epic little blurb. It says the return of the legendary PHP podcast, PHP Roundtable. So it's like, this is what I was telling Sammy. I'm like, Sammy, I don't think you understand how much people love PHP Roundtable. I was more than happy to take it off his hands, but I really think people want to hear, they want Sammy K in PHP Roundtable. But I was really kind of saying, I'm like, man, I don't think you understand how much people in the community miss PHP Roundtable. He's like, no, I do understand. That's why I want you to do it.
As someone who's
I
made,
just don't want to do it.
as someone who's made hundreds of episodes of a podcast, let me tell you, they really like your podcast much more than ours.
Exactly. As hard as okay, so I just mentioned how PHPUgly has this is episode 240. We've been doing this for over 5 years now, I think, and we had 400 people. Did I say
400 subscribers? Yeah.
PHP Roundtable, who hasn't until we brought it back recently, hadn't published in over 2 years, has over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube
With only 80 some episodes.
With only 82 episodes. So yeah, people like PHP Roundtable. It's stressing me out. It's like I have a quality show now I have to do something about. And Oscar, not to say that PHP Architect isn't a quality show, but yeah, I need to What do you guys want to see? All right, listen. Here's the question of the day. Discord. If you're in Discord, discord.phpugly.com, come participate. What do you want to see on Roundtable? Like, I have a couple options I can do.
What do you want to see on this show to get you to subscribe?
People don't care.
Really, I'll do
this
anything.
Is what they want to see. This is. I might take you up on that. You heard about OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans is no longer.
Oh,
they're
boy.
removing porn. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did hear
is
that
removing
OnlyFans was
porn.
going out
What
of
is
business.
OnlyFans?
Nothing. Don't worry
So,
about it.
well, see, Tom had this little side hustle where he did an OnlyFans page called the Nude Developer, and people would pay him to watch him code in nothing but his birthday suit. So, but no, OnlyFans was like a pay subscription Twitter sort of platform. So you would pay to subscribe to follow people on OnlyFans, and they did things a lot. They were very risque, like, you know, just a lot of nudity. And I guess it escalated to more than just nudity, but like there started to just be, I guess, straight up porn on OnlyFans. So you would follow certain feeds on OnlyFans and you'd get this feed of whatever.
How many
And I guess-
feeds did you follow?
Listen, you know, not all of us. There's a reason why I don't have $200 in my wallet to carry around. Okay, I like to watch Tom code naked. Hey, judge a man if you want. But yeah, they said no more porn, which I'm not sure what that means. Like supposedly, like the more risque accounts where people are nude is okay, but no porn.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
boudoir stuff is okay, but not just straight up sex stuff.
How did we transition to this story? I don't even know
Yeah.
how that happened.
We were actually talking about something more valid, and I forget what it was. What were we talking about before we came over
I
here?
don't know. It was like this weird right turn. Like, how'd we end up over
See,
here?
this PHP Roundtable. What do people want to see on PHP Roundtable? Jesus Christ! How did we end up in porn? And
Yes,
what is
how
wrong
did
with
we?
you, Tom? So I have a couple of approaches. So initially, what I'm doing is I'm doing roundtables of people with a common interest who we can get a range of discussion points. So I have a Laravel one coming up where I'm trying to get like a lot of the Laravel top dogs on. And I was thinking about doing one for PHP podcasters because there are a few of us, and I thought it would be fun just to get all the PHP podcasters together and talk about why we do this, what the goal of our podcast is, blah blah blah, and just kind of give each other shit about who's better and who's worse and who's got more followers, just like a fun little thing. But somebody also brought up like they would like to see roundtables that like talk about the benefit of Active Directory. Like some people who use Active Record.
Yeah.
Active Record as in people who use Doctrine, and like have these roundtables of different viewpoints of workflows and patterns within PHP, and try to get a nice little civil conversation around the pros and cons.
I've got people that would probably jump on that episode if you want to do that one.
Okay. All right.
I know a Fox Pro guy.
I'm asking you guys, and I'm asking everybody in Discord, what do you? I mean, is that what you want to see? Like, do you want to see like one topic where everybody's like, oh yeah, this is why we love this, Drupal. This is why we love Drupal, and everybody talking about Drupal, or would you rather see like different roundtable of different CMSs and Drupal over here, WordPress, or whatever else we have out there? What? Not that we're trying to create drama. I'm definitely not me. Come on, I'm not. I don't try to stir the pot. But just what would you be looking for when you listen to PHP Roundtable?
I mean,
Don't everybody answer at once.
I would maximize conflict, like do a Real Housewives of PHP. I guess that's why I wasn't given the offer to run it for probably that specific reason.
We're getting PHP Fight Club in Discord. Kevin is I'm assuming I'm all for dev drama. Dev drama, Real Housewives. There we go. Buttery.
I mean that's
a Laravel versus that other framework we just talked about that we gave Connolly permission to use our content for. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean that's what
There's
this
some good drama
podcast
there for
is,
you.
isn't it? Isn't this the PHP
Pretty
drama
much.
Yeah.
podcast?
We just pull the trigger and the grenade and just lay it in the middle of the table. Then we end our podcast. We just let everybody else take care of it after that.
Now
That's why our table's
don't
not
know.
round.
I mean, I got things I want to do. Like I want to do a yearly internals roundtable where we have internals. I think Sarah had a fantastic idea of trying to time it where RFCs are like RFCs need to start to get voted on. So let's get like a bunch of RFC people in a roundtable and talk about the RFCs they want to pitch for the next release and things like that. So I definitely want to do that one. I think that's a perfect use of roundtable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's
I don't
not
know, man.
it's not generics. We're not going to talk about generics anymore ever again. It's off. That's off the table.
That's fine.
Unless you use PHP Storm.
Right. Well, I mean,
Just saying.
or I believe that the extension for VS Code is out now as well. But yeah, we talked a couple weeks ago about the generics and how Nikita Popov basically said, "Here's the two ways of doing it. Neither of them is ever going to happen because there's too many issues around them." And now everything I read links to that that statement by Nikita that basically says generics are done. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. It's not worth talking about anymore. Nikita proved why it can't be done. End of story. So it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Somebody. I'm sure somebody will come along and make it happen one day. We were talking, I think it was last week, about salaries, wasn't it? Where we're talking about how to pay people. when
Yeah,
you
we
hire
were
them
talking
different
about
locales.
Mhm.
Yeah, paying people who worked in different locations unfairly and that kind of thing. I think that's what we're talking
So we had
about.
somebody in Discord, Surreal Pineapple in Discord, asked, what is the average salary for PHP, Laravel, and Vue dev in the US who has 10 to 12 years of total coding experience? They are from Australia, and they feel like the US average is way above the Aussie average. And again, that the average across the US is hard because you've got places where somebody making $60,000-$70,000 is a lot of money, where in other places you can't even live on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really take the US average, right?
Yeah, I mean, Australia has specific traits. It's very physically close to a lot of the less expensive countries to develop software in. So a lot of Australian companies will offshore because they can manage it easier. And
How do you know that? Like, what?
I've read it.
I'm serious. Like, you've looked into Australian companies, and
Yeah. Not very recently, but I've looked into it quite a while ago. It's
I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just curious on how you learn something
Yeah.
like that.
Australia has a lot of very, very strict rules for employer stuff. A lot of software development for video games that they'd like to do in Australia, they just can't. You can't really develop video games in Australia in any way. And I read a lot about video game development, so get a lot of stuff from there.
Interesting.
Did he happen to mention what the rate is in Australia?
He did. No, I don't know if it's he or she. That's why they did not mention that. Off the top of my head, 10, 12 years experience for a PHP Laravel and Vue, I would assume you're near six figures.
Yeah, I would assume 80
But
to 100.
I don't have anything to base. Yeah, that's where I was thinking, but I don't have any more information. Like, just because you have 10 to 12 years, that doesn't mean you're good or bad.
Yeah.
I've got 20 some years experience, and I opened 8 hotfix PRs today. If that tells you anything.
God. The horrible
God.
thing is that reminds me I have a
added
hotfix
to a
PR.
Trello board. You on the show? Couldn't have been too hot.
I was just going to say, hotfix means it's got to go now.
Yeah, no, I know. I just remembered I got a
as
message about it
a
earlier
link
and
gets shared and
didn't
it
do
says coming in hot.
I saw that. I'm like, hey, how'd that happen? Yeah, so I just shared a link in our Discord that breaks down. I don't know how current this is. This might not be current. I just did a quick Google search on it, so who knows? But according to this, the US is around 81K a year for PHP developers. Australia is around 73. So yeah, it is trailing a little bit behind the US. But again, you got to take in the cost of living. How much does it cost to live in Australia compared to some of these places here in the US? Yeah, that conversation really stuck with me a lot this week. Like, I don't know if he did enough justice. I don't want to rehash it, but I really don't. I don't think we came to a solid conclusion. Like, there was the one kind of argument of you're paying for the work they're doing, and so it should be the same no matter where you live. And I get that argument, but the problem is, like, some of these pay scales are based on locale. So saying, oh, well, I'm not going to pay you based on locale anymore. I'm going to pay you, whatever the market value is on average in the US. All of a sudden you've got people living in areas where I was like, well, I have the talent and this is where I live and I can't work with you anymore because you're not going to pay me enough. I don't know, man. I struggle. I'm still struggling with that conversation that we had last week about whether or not locale factors into that salary at all. And I don't see how it doesn't. I mean, I just don't.
I think it does when you're hiring. It doesn't when you're switching from one thing to another. When you're switching from people working in your office to working remote, I don't think you can I don't think you should. You can, obviously. I don't think you should change somebody's pay at that point.
Yeah, but how can you be sure they're not working 2 jobs?
Yeah, I saw that come up too. Where'd you see that
at? This showed up in our Discord. I mean, it showed up all over the place today, but it showed up in our Discord. Someone was saying, "God, I don't know what." Let me find it.
I mean, honestly, as you're looking for it, honestly, I don't care if you're working 2 jobs. As long as I'm setting goals for you with my company and you're achieving those goals and you're available when I expect you to be available, I don't know why I care, except for I would be concerned about your personal health. Like, you would be working too hard or burning yourself out or something. But,
But I think this goes back to work from home being a concern for employers in general. It's, how do I know that the person that is supposed to be at home is sitting and doing what they're supposed to be doing and not doing dishes or vacuuming or working a second job? And
again, by tracking their work, by making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, I know today, I know today of people who work on site who do side hustles all the time. So when they're not on site, they're doing their side hustle. They don't care as long as they're on site when they're supposed to be on site. They're doing what they're supposed to do when they're when they're supposed to do it.
For you guys, that's kind of what you do. I mean, as a consulting firm that does, pay for maintenance. What's that called? Retainer. As a consulting firm that handles retainers, you're always working multiple jobs and profiting off of all of them simultaneously. But for somebody like me, who's like dedicated to one code base and one job, if they found out that I was actually working for multiple companies, they'd be upset.
It's a little bit different to Eric's point, we have goals and things we need to achieve, and if we don't, we're not going to be there, right?
Right.
So, little different.
See, but for me, my goal is to get as much done as I can in the amount of time I have in a day for my company. So if I'm splitting that up, if I'm capable of working 2 jobs, then I'm not doing what they're paying me to do.
I think the what's different here is the idea of double dipping. Like you're working at one job, but charging the other job at the same time. I think that is an issue. But like people working 2 jobs, especially in the States, is my wife works 2 jobs.
I think what they're talking. So this is an article from the Wall Street Journal, and I believe what they're talking about is working 2 9-to-5 jobs. So
that's different.
Yeah, so they're reporting in to work at the same time for both jobs and then leaving at the same time for both jobs. They're just not telling the other jobs about each other.
Yes, yeah. Again, I think part of that falls on the companies. I mean, you've got to be tracking people. You've got to be setting goals. You've got to. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm sure it's happened with us, but I don't know. It's hard for me to understand that argument, because if one of our people, they're working 2 jobs and I don't notice it, because this has happened and I have noticed and we've had a conversation about it. But if they're working 2 jobs and I'm not noticing it, then there's something wrong with how I'm managing that person, because they're obviously not delivering, they're not available, and it's not impacting anything. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I get what's being said, and yes, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't double dip. You shouldn't be working at 2 companies at the same time and charging both of them for the same hours. Like every hour you charge company A should not be an hour you're charging company B, regardless of how you work 2 jobs, whether it's 9 to 5 here, 6 to 10 there, or you work 2 hours in the morning here, 2 hours here, then you come back 2 hours. However you do it, you have to have the integrity to do it correctly. But
what if I'm writing an open source app, an open source library that both companies can use?
And I think that's valid, right? Well, just working on open source in general. I mean, I'm just saying, but working on open source in general, this is something more companies should encourage. They should be paying employees to work on open source stuff, because they're going to benefit from it in some way. Even if they don't use that open source product directly, if they have an employee who's bettering themselves working on open source, they should consider giving that employee a couple hours a week or a couple hour a day or to work on that open source project. But again, it comes
what
back
did you just
to
commit us to?
This is very true. I need to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting article. I'm sure it's paywalled, so I'm never going to read it. But
because it's Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. But I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure if you search for it on Reddit, you can get the whole article. Also a morally gray area. Not really.
Nope, definitely.
No, I mean, it's an interesting. It's been speculated for a long time that software developers could do this, or they could actually outsource their job to somebody else and have multiple jobs where they just end up outsourcing all of their jobs.
If you're a contractor, you definitely can.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a contractor, that's the definition of what you do.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's these sort of, they're sort of casting these people as being disenfranchised and taking advantage of a system that is taking advantage of them. And I'm not sure how getting paid a lot of money to write software is that much of being taken advantage of, but whatever. I saw some demos of the GitHub AI that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was going to put programmers to shame.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
From the people if we're talking about the same thing, I've seen people talking about it's not that great.
CoPilot, I assume is what we're talking about. CoPilot?
Code? I don't know.
I think so. Like there were some goodness in it if you were doing very crud like applications because you're typing the same crap over and over again, but when it came to other stuff, it wasn't very good.
I saw somebody teasing a game of asteroids that was developed using AI.
So when you said you've seen it in use, are you just talking about YouTube videos, or do you know somebody who has it?
I'm just talking about YouTube videos.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
But see, now
Links
I can't.
Then it happened.
Yeah, now I can't find the reference, so it just never happened.
So you gotta put in
Or
Trello,
you made
man.
it up.
That's it.
I might have. I've been having a lot of nightmares lately. It's very easy that a software engine that can completely replace me is a nightmare I would have. Now I've got all that free time to raise teenagers. It's great.
Since I have my PHP brain trust here, and I am clearly talking about the people in Discord and not you two, did you guys happen to see the tweet I responded to Alex Wolf on he did a Twitter poll on whether people prefer route files or annotations to handle, like the Symfony annotations to handle routes. And people overwhelmingly said route file. And I agree with that. I'm definitely a route file person. But my question was, and I tweeted this out, nobody really responded, was, is there some perceived benefit to using putting the routes in the annotation of a controller that I'm missing? Because I have trouble understanding like what the benefit, with the exception of maybe if you're in that controller, you can see how you got there because the route is right there. But I don't know. I don't understand what other benefit could possibly be there. Does anybody have any theories there?
I don't, because it seems like then your routes are spread out everywhere. And it would be annoying to find. But
so this is an old method of handling routes in Symfony, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Symfony is where I know of it from. It might be other places, but I know of it from Symfony.
Yeah. And I believe that doing it in annotations made it easier for the IDE to understand what the route was doing.
So back to that whole IDE thing. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there were IDE plugins for Symfony that would like let you jump to a route or jump to a route definition from somewhere that you were trying to call the route. And so you could sort of surf your code through its routes instead of having them all in one place where it was just a clump of text. But I can't really think of any reason why I would prefer an annotation instead of route files.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely not a trick question. I can't think of any.
Especially with
you
route
get?
groups. Laravel has route groups that you can like apply middleware policies to, or model autofilling, things like that, of validations. So like with that, you can't even close to achieve what Laravel does with that stuff in an annotation.
Were you gonna ask something, John?
No, I was going to move on to. Do either of you use SwiftMailer?
I don't think so.
The
No.
library. See,
No,
I've been
I
using
haven't
that.
in a very long time.
I've been using it for years. I actually have an open source transport plugin written for it, and find out today that Symfony is killing SwiftMailer completely. Like, no more support for it. It's going away.
Well, let's be clear.
What-
Symfony's not killing it. Fabien Potentier is killing it. It is a person with a knife
Stabbing it.
stabbing it to death.
Tom, is there? Do you not like Fabian? I said I'll let Fabian know.
No, I do. I love-
you know,
I love him. Just everyone has their clouds.
But it's coming to end.
what is-
Like it was just announced today, and it's end of life, end of maintenance, end of November. So it's only a few months away. And it's like, not that it's been updated often. I don't think I pull in updates that often. And they have a Symfony mailer library now, which I'm assuming I could use. But it's
I was
just one of
gonna
those
ask,
things.
Is that the recommended replacement? Is to go to the Symfony mailer class?
I haven't done enough research. I saw this. I read through that part where it was done, and I was like, no. But then today I've been opening hot fixes left and right, so I haven't had a chance to do any research.
He basically says Symfony Mailer could have been called Swift Mailer 7, because that's where the work for it started. So Symfony Mailer really is the continuation of Swift Mailer.
Gotcha. I'm wondering if my plugin will continue to work with it.
No.
We'll find out.
Not
Probably
based on
not.
all the hot fixes you had to do today.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Alright. Hey, we have a new Patreon supporter. Did you know
Patreon?
this? Patreon. Robert. We have a new Robert. I think we already have a Robert on there, actually. But yes, we have a new
See.
Robert Patreon supporter. Should be coming up here.
You
As always, thank you, Honey
requested
Badger.
you requested I remove last names because you didn't know if people would want their names associated with our podcast. So now we have the obvious problem of two Roberts.
I don't know if we have two Roberts or not, but yeah. Yes, we do. And you don't. I do this for you now. You haven't updated this list since like that first day. Talking about.
It's difficult. I have two jobs.
We
Yeah,
have somebody
Kalen.
requesting that they have their name
We will be
removed.
getting your name off of there. You know why, too, mister. Oh, there he is, Robert. Thank you, Robert. New Patreon member. You missed it.
Thank you,
It was
Robert.
on there.
And everybody else on this list,
Who supports us. We do appreciate
except for the one person we left on there, because I'm not sure why.
See, now that he's asking his name be removed, we have the chance to charge him for that privilege. It's like those mugshot blackmail sites. It's $2 to get your name added, and it's $100 to get it taken off.
Speaking of Patreon, Tom, John,
Yes.
do we have packages
Eric?
going out?
You've been gone. I told you I needed to talk to you about that. So we'll do that later.
He's out of tape.
I took you that wine, and I forgot to get my roundtable stickers from you. I wanted to get some roundtable
yeah, you did.
stickers from you. Crap. Oh well.
To be fair, I forgot to give them to you.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's why we held on shipping out the PHPUgly packages, because we wanted to give everybody rounds. We wanted to give you stickers of a podcast that actually mattered. So we wanted round table stickers.
Now featured on PHP Annotated.
So
I wanted to give people a chance to cancel their Patreon support, so I didn't have to send it out.
how crappy would it be if I started cross promoting Roundtable and Ugly? First off, if you didn't,
You're doing it already. What are you talking about?
Yeah, not sure.
No,
what are you saying will change?
Like linking the two. So last week,
There's nothing wrong with that.
By total mistake, I accidentally published the PHP on Mars audio podcast to PHP Roundtable. I have it all on Simplecast, and I published it. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, episode 82, episode 249. What the hell just happened? And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, wrong stream. And I had to pull it down and move it over. But I don't know. I've been thinking like on the YouTube channels for PHPUgly, you as the video ends, you can link to other channels. I was thinking about adding Roundtable there, and then doing the same thing on Roundtable as the video ended, linking to Ugly.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe let's go old school. Let's just start a whole PHP podcast web ring. How about we do that?
Okay,
let's do a web ring.
This is what I was saying specifically about the Discord channel, and you were like, "Oh, you can't do that. We're not going to try to bring in other incorporated podcasts into ours." And
right, I stand by that. I know the dog agrees with me. I'm with the dog.
The dog wants to eat the cat.
I think if something like that were to happen, that should be on like maybe PHP Architect or what's Cal Evans PHP Podcast. I mean, I don't know. I don't think PHPUgly and then having everybody go to different podcasts in PHPUgly. I don't know. Maybe PHP Roundtable is the right vessel for that. Maybe I do PHP Roundtable Discord and then create channels for all the other podcasts in there.
Well, you could do it like the shampoo companies. We could just be a PHPUgly production, and everything could be under the Uggos brand.
The Ugly production, Uggos, yeah. I don't know. I don't. PHPUgly has always been very personal to me. Like it's been, like, I don't know. It's always been very personal to me. Like I don't like sharing it, and I don't think it's a good brand to share. Like not like I have a lot of people asking to share PHPUgly. But yeah,
except for Conley. Conley's asking to share.
Except for Conley. Yeah.
Do you guys
I'll figure it out.
Still have any crypto?
Oh yeah.
It's not on the Poly network, is it?
I don't know where the hell it is. I can tell you where it's at though if you're interested.
Let's not do that because this story is about the biggest crypto heist so far.
Oh dear God.
Didn't cover it last week because things were sort of up in the air with the story still, but there was a hacker that managed to steal $610 million in cryptocurrency from a decentralized finance exchange. That is super not good.
It is for them.
Well, oddly enough, the Poly network, the network that got compromised, sent out an email or a sort of a public message saying, "Hey, you got us. Totally exploited our system, but please give us the money back." And they did.
What?
They gave back so far. They gave back 320 million of the 610 million that was stolen. I shit you not.
What? Now you're making things up.
No, I absolutely not. So they, as of August 12th, 342 million was returned, with 268 million in Ethereum still missing. So what did they do? They had communication with this hacker, and this hacker said, hey, this was always about security, not profiteering. So like, I'll give you back as much as I can give you back. And they're calling him Mr. White Hat, and they're offering him a job and a bug bounty. And they've launched a bug bounty program with this as their example. And it's crazy. But I mean, like, he's still got $268 million. What do you he's coming out of this pretty well.
Assuming
I
he
really need to be
doesn't give it all
rich.
back.
Yeah,
What was that, Eric?
I'm baffled.
What is that, John?
I was asking what you said.
I said I really need to be rich. This
You're
whole
about to buy a house. Of course you do.
it's terrifying. I can't.
Especially in
I
San
can't
Diego.
even. And I had to go through. So we're doing the finance part right now, and there's always that. Like they're like, what do you do? Well, yeah, I have a development studio. We do web development. You own your own business? Yeah. It's a web. Yeah. Okay. So you work for yourself. Well, yeah, but I own a business. Yeah, sure, you own a business. It's like the hip way of saying you're unemployed now. It's like, I own
These
my
candles
own
sell
development
themselves,
group.
okay?
No, they're like, no, really. Okay. How long have you owned your business? It's like, would you stop air quoting that? Jesus Christ.
See, I went through this shortly after we started the business, and to get financing, you have to have 2 years of business tax returns that we didn't have at the time.
Yep.
So you at least, we have the business history. So
Yeah,
I can
should
do
be
it
a hell of a lot
I can
easier.
do it for 3 months. You give me 3 months of bank statements, I can get you a loan.
Are you offering?
No, I'm just saying that literally that's what I do for a living now. Small business loans.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole going through and so much information they need, like you're literally just exposing everything about you. Like it's so weird, man. I'm very uncomfortable with this process.
It is weird. I will. We do connections through a system called Plaid.
They just changed their whole API lately. Recently.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, I say that I've had to update my account on numerous sites because Plaid changed something.
Okay. Yeah, so we use
I
Plaid.
I thought Plaid was just a processor, though. Are they not
No.
a processor?
What we use
Okay.
Plaid for is for fetching bank account data. So you link your bank account to Plaid, and Plaid sends us all of your bank statements for the last 12 months or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then we take all those statements and we send them to another company that says, hey, here's where they're negative, here's where they're positive, here's what their income trend looks like. And then we take that information and send it to another company that says, yes, this business is a real business. They've existed for this long. The photo of the license photo that you have is not the actual owner, so don't give them a loan.
Mm-mm.
So it's very interesting the way we take this data and sort of paste it all over the place and get lender information.
I don't like it.
It's interesting. I definitely wouldn't like it if I weren't doing it for like a company that I owned or something like that, but I could totally understand like getting a loan for a company. They're going to want to have some like idea of what your income and stuff looks like.
Mm-hmm. Or that you're really a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. All right. I think we're good. Are we good? I think that's
We're good.
I think we did our mandatory hour of yapping.
Yep. We paid our dues for the week.
Yep.
That's it. Next week I'll have more to talk about. I'm gonna get jumping on PHP Roundtable, try to get something organized there. I'll get some coding done this week, and I'll have more to talk about next week. I feel like I didn't have anything to talk about. Which reminds me, Tom. We'll talk about it after the show. If you want to hang out after the show, I got something to ask Tom. But for now, if you're listening to the audio podcast, you don't get to hear what that is because we're ending the show. This has been episode 250 of PHPUgly. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2. Are you not doing that? Are we not doing music?
1, 2, 1, 2.
That's right,
coming
dog.
off the top, y'all know how we do.
I forget because you guys
Okay.
can't
I'ma
hear it.
drop a freestyle you can cherish.
One day we'll
I'ma
fix
send a
that.
shout out to the host named Eric.
Yeah,
Yo, he's
definitely
never
not.
on some average shit.
that your
You know,
dog, John?
Eric, he stays
That's
out
my
and
dog.
passionate. I'm about to
your
break it
dog.
down for y'all with the clever
dog's
song. Yo,
here.
shout the
You can hear
host
us now.
name
We're
Thomas,
talking
cause
over-
he's
we're
never
talking over
wrong.
here
Yo, shout to
now, which
John.
should not be
You know
allowed.
that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly, cause it's not professional. But I'm about to come
There's
through
a,
and bless it with style.
restaurant
So let's
in New York
do it
that
when I'm spitting, I perfume the room.
we do not
Yo, the
discriminate
segment of
against
the
sex,
show is
gender,
called
race,
Doom
creed,
and
age,
Gloom. That came
vaccinated
from
or
Thomas.
unvaccinated.
Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm
Because so
about
many
to
Maybe they
make
should.
it
are
like
not
a
requiring
promise.
vaccination
Yeah, and y'all
cards.
know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely.
The
Let's
song
go.
seems so much longer
Hey,
when we
shout out
can't
to
hear.
y'all.
Hey!
It feels
Okay,
longer
just
when
stop
you
the
guys
recording.
just talk over it.
I
Oh,
did.
you did.
Citizen 86. Citizen 86 in Discord. Who are you? I know
It's
I know
Kalen.
you. Is that Kalen?
Yeah.
Wait, Kalen's in he's commenting on Twitch and in Discord. I got you.
Yeah.
I knew that name. I need a cheat sheet of handles and people because I can never remember who people
Unless they're
are.
cool like Sarah, who's Sarah everywhere.
Yeah. I switched between them. So I should have brought it up on the show. I guess not really, but tomorrow morning, John and I are interviewing somebody who wrote an article for PHP Architect. It's going to be the PHP Architect interview podcast for this month. But he wrote an article on Laravel Horizon, and I know you have a history with Laravel Horizon, Tom.
Yes, I do have a history with Laravel Horizon.
Do you have any questions you want to make sure I ask?
Why does threading not work correctly? Why does processor count irrelevant? I don't have any questions anymore. I only had it in that one environment, and that was a year ago now.
Okay, so you're not
So-
using it anymore?
No.
Oh,
Actually,
I
I don't
ABC
know
have
what
not-
we're using.
ABC10 here in San Diego did a story on OnlyFans. It's funny that came up on my
Oh.
Facebook feed.
Well, it's $1 billion company that's going to be gone next year, so it makes sense.
you think it's going to be gone because of this, or?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, they'll
Interesting.
be 100% gone.
Mark
I
this August 19th, 10:21 p.m., episode 250. Tom says OnlyFans will be gone in 1 year.
1 year.
It'll be in the same It'll be in the same situation that Tumblr is in now, which is that their traffic is going to nosedive. Their investors will abandon them, and they will become a stagnant platform that will exist for another 10 years on the fact that they don't have to pay for servers anymore.
Discord. I need titles. Nobody did a title today. We had a good one going too, and I forget what it was. Damn it!
Kicked
gotta
off
remember new
OnlyFans?
titles.
Yeah, Kevin, you missed it. We did it. A literal shout out.
Yes, it happened very fast, and it surprised even me, the person who hits the button.
So I brought up
it's really quick. I could do it again.
Honey Badger transforms you into a DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and cron monitoring into a single easy-to-use platform. Stop wasting your time tailing logs and deploy with Swagger. Visit honeybadger.io today to level up.
So I brought up this restaurant in New York that they're saying they don't care if you're vaccinated or not, we'll accept you. I have somebody close to me on Facebook who unfortunately went to the right on everything, not vaccinated, and I feel bad. Like I just want to reach out and say, please. I tried when I saw them. Recently
I don't
shared.
think it's the right. I think it's just crazy.
Okay. Yeah, that too. But also right.
Yeah, true.
They recently shared a meme on Facebook where somebody went up and wanted a table. The server said, "Can I see your vaccination card?" They said, "Sure. Can I see the vaccination cards of all of your cooks, all of your servers? I'd also like to see their flu shot immunizations, maybe their Hep A or hepatitis vaccinations." It's like, you just don't get it. Like, I understand the point you're trying to make, but this is different.
Yeah. Also, easy things to provide as an employer. Like, you do get those records.
Right, but if I had a restaurant, me providing my wait staff's hepatitis C vaccination records isn't going to do anything because you're not there. I mean, I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, I
you're
know.
not. It's different.
There's just a lot more assholes than I thought there were. Really.
It also asked. I think it also mentioned STDs, and I was like, "You're comparing an STD to COVID." I'm like, seriously.
If you really want the chef to fuck your lobster, sure, we'll provide the results for you. But unless that's explicitly a request, I don't think we'll be doing that. It is an option. This is the customer's always right.
So this winery, this friend I went to go visit, is like
allowed to
living,
say the name
living
or
the
no?
dream.
Because it was good.
Yeah.
Cedar
what
Creek.
is it called? Cedar Creek. Here, let me grab a bottle if anybody's interested.
What was that?
I got a few of them. What is what?
It sounded like you turned around and ripped straight into the microphone.
Oh, this maybe?
No.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, Cedar Creek. If you want some good natural, no additives, no preservative wine, check out Cedar Creek Ranch and Vineyard. But they have like I always talk about like I would love to have I enjoy the idea of sustainable foods, right? And she lives in a place where like most of the places up there are vineyards, but everybody does like something a little different. So she had like one of her friends creates olive oil. It's a very similar process to wine where they press these olives and stuff. So she has all this like really great olive oil that she gives them wine, they give her olive oil. She has chicken, so she gets her egg. When we come every morning, she's like, "Okay, you mind swinging by the barn and picking up a few eggs, and we'll do breakfast?" Like, yeah, sure. So we'd have to, we'd pull into the property. Like I said, it's 80 acres, so we'd have to drive to the barn and get eggs, and then go up. But she lives in multiple places, so she's only at the vineyard a certain amount of time through the years. So she's not there a lot. So as we were leaving, she was preparing to leave. She ended up staying because they have a wildfire up there, and she wasn't sure if she had to get her horses out, and she has all this other stuff. But this is the weirdest thing, and I'm sorry if this offends you, John. But as we're leaving, she had Beck taking milk that she gets fresh from another neighbor, had Beck taking this milk and pouring it in bags so that she can then freeze it and then take it with her on the plane to Washington, where they live on a boat. And she had, like, it was a lot of milk. And I'm like, why are you freezing all this milk? She's like, this is fresh milk out of the cow from my neighbor. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. But, like, you can also buy milk. Like, if you're going to consume milk, you can buy milk in Washington. Like, you don't have to freeze this milk because there's something special about the milk. And she's like, no, this is just like, the cow produced this milk, so we need to drink it. I'm like, yeah, but you can freeze it and keep it here. You don't have to, like,
or you could give it to the baby cow that it was meant for.
Anyways, they I'm like, you can freeze.
You
it
held
and
out
keep it
twice
here. You don't have
longer
to
than I
take it
thought
in
you
place.
would.
Yeah, I'm actually proud of him.
Well, you just kept going on about it, so.
So it's just the weirdest thing.
I wonder what the margins are on owning a winery. If it's just like a fancy version of owning a bar.
I tried getting that out of them because now there is a lot. She had like way more equipment than I thought, and people come in and have to pick the grapes, and there's a lot of process. So I don't know. I mean, you can go to the website. I mean, a bottle of wine is only, she sells it for like $20. Plus,
between like 10 and 30.
The 20 is between 10 and 30. You're right.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't know. I mean, she had a lot of wine there, but I don't know. I don't know what the margins are on it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, the Syrah is like the most expensive.
The Syrah is the best.
Ooh. The Wollersheim Port.
And they're on Barnivore.
What?
What is that?
Cedar Creek is on Barnivore. All their wines have no animal product in it.
I don't know what Barnivore is.
It's a place I go to find out if my beer or wine has any animal carcasses in it. Barnivore.
Wine wouldn't normally, though, because they don't need a clarifying agent as much.
You'd be surprised.
The one thing that they will put in it, like a lot of wineries will put in like sugars and sweeteners in it to do it. But yeah, I wonder how they get listed.
Usually somebody reaches out and asks what's in there.
Like there's a lot of wine on here that's not vegan friendly.
Yep.
That's interesting. I wonder how they got listed. Cedar Creek.
Because it's filtered with egg whites.
Oh,
on this one.
It's good stuff, man. Tom, if you were closer, I would get you a bottle, but I definitely recommend.
Well, they ship here if I wanted some. It's
yeah.
It was really good.
We don't really do wines.
Yeah, Beck definitely did not do red wine. Like, she was not a red wine drinker at all. She loves this stuff. I don't know why. She says, and she explained. My friend explained this to me. So Beck didn't do red wines because it always gave her a migraine, and my friend knew exactly what she was talking about. She goes, "No, that's a chemical that they add because of this or that or whatever." She goes, "Mine doesn't have it, so you won't get a headache. You won't get that migraine." And sure enough, she doesn't get a migraine, so she loves it.
Oh, just a hangover, just your standard hangover.
All right, I need titles, man. Nobody's giving me titles. What the hell did we talk about today? Where's Trello at?
Kicked off OnlyFans.
You got to put it in Discord for it to you have a chance.
Anybody will buy that. Should we do something with the person who left that other framework guy? Nah.
No.
Trongate.
Trongate 2.0.
No. You got to get something that makes people want to click on it. Not that it matters. It's not gonna get the impressions anyway.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
How about what was the comment was
whining
Most
about
people were
wine.
whining about wine after the show. That's not gonna
We
work.
should have talked about it more during the show. What were you gonna say, Tom?
Whining about
slightly
hot fixes.
mean-spirited.
Oh, I like that one. PHPUgly, slightly mean-spirited.
Slightly mean-spirited.
I like that. Slightly mean.
That are not a good optic. I
Again,
fully,
what optic?
not a good optic was the other part of the comment. Is not a good optic having you guys sat in your rooms taking the mick out of someone else's hard work. No, it's not. Not going for good optics.
Episode 250. Learn how to get paid twice as much for doing the same amount of work.
Double your income.
Round
Double
table
your
and
income.
porn. That's it. Let me start tarnishing that round table brand right now, Kevin. Thank you. Fine. How about the
PHP
wallet
triangle
scavenger
table?
hunt? Wallet scavenger hunt.
There you go.
So did you
Still
lose
can't
all your
believe I
cards
did
and
that.
everything?
Yeah.
Did you lose all your
Yeah,
cards?
I had to cancel all my credit cards, get new ones. So now I gotta figure
Son
out
of a bitch.
everywhere I had auto billing set up and get that fixed up.
And a license, you got to get a new license, right?
I mean, I was due for a new one anyway, so it kind of worked out that
I need to
way.
go get the whole passport license, the whatever those are called.
Real ID.
Is the last license you had Chubby John picture?
No. Actually, yeah.
Look at my
Yes.
Chubby John now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I am now.
Well, yeah, except for like 80 pounds.
No.
Yeah.
Double dipping would be good. Double dipping. I think Tom nailed it slightly. Whatever you said, slightly mean-spirited.
Slightly mean-spirited.
It sounds like it's something like you put on the side of a food product. May contain nuts. Slightly mean-spirited.
I'm very surprised YouTube hasn't built in A/B testing automatically. Like you give it 2-3 different titles, and they figure out which one works better for you. Because right now, the people that have enough viewership
I think they do
are
have
doing
something close to that built in.
as far as if you watch that Veritasium, they're watching a live dashboard of how many impressions versus how many people click on it, and then they can make tweaks as they're going, but they're doing it basically live. I'm going to switch
not
my
A/B. Huh.
Right. They're manual A/B. I'm going to switch this out and see if it has any impact, positive or negative.
That's like I wish YouTube would have where it would suggest keywords for like it would listen to your video, in our case our podcast, and then say, okay, here are some keywords we have extracted away to use for tags or something like that. But they do not. I feel like you could write that, like using one of these APIs for what's it called?
Closed captioning or whatever.
Yeah.
Transcribing your video.
Transcribing, yeah. I've been transcribing our podcasts lately. I just don't post it anywhere. I have it as part of the post production. I tie it into Google. It's a pain because it doesn't separate the speakers, so it doesn't like say speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3 or anything like that. It just transcribes, so I don't post it anywhere. But yeah, I don't know. I got so much shit I want to do, and I realize how much I need to be rich because buying a house sucks, man. It's terrifying. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to stop.
I was looking at house prices near here and gave myself a full-on anxiety attack.
Problem is, it's top of the market right now. You're going to get top dollar for your house, but you're going to pay top dollar for wherever you're moving.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous what we're talking about getting for a house. And just what John said, our realtor really wants us to move fast because, it's like if we put it on the market right now, you'll be the only house with a pool, and you'll have the biggest lot, and I'll sell it in a weekend.
Yeah, which is great, but again, you're going to buy at the top of the market too.
Yeah, but the places we're looking at, it's cheaper.
Yeah, but you're also talking about living so much further away.
An hour away. What is with you in like driving?
It's
like
I don't even want to drive 20 minutes to your house.
I know. So I don't understand how me moving an hour away makes a difference. It's not like you're going to come over eating less.
True.
What would be a good image for me?
I can't stop at your house when I go to pick up cookies for my kid's birthday party, which were amazing, I must say.
I'm going to do the dog. I'm going to do a mean dog. Mean-spirited dog. All right, I'll let you guys. We need to listen. I do want to make a suggestion because Sarah did this, and I think we should start doing an Among Us so I can participate in the after show gaming you guys do.
We haven't done it in forever, but
we haven't done it in a while.
You doing it tonight?
He's talking to you, Tom.
Oh no. I'm taking it easy. I'm still recovering from yesterday.
Yeah, Tom or Derek, let's set that up. An Among Us night.
I need to maybe get the Diego Dev team. Maybe do it like on a Friday and
do it right after the show, and you got a built-in audience in Discord that's already in Discord that can chat throughout.
Yeah,
I know. I realized I said that.
Don't you have to?
I also
don't you have to talk?
Podcasting.
Loser gets fired.
Maybe that could be like a Patreon level. Just do it Among Us.
Hang out with us after the show and play a game.
Yeah, that'll be our highest selling.
Could be fun.
Right,
I gotta run.
Let you guys go. No.
Right.
I gotta run. I'm the busy guy.
Ending the stream. Thank you, everybody.